Hey treasures, welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna say a couple things before we get into this video. Sorry if you hate long intros, but you guys deserve one. So I have been super busy. I'm sure you guys have seen my last couple of videos. If not, I will link them down below, or you're gonna see them anyways. Seriously. I've been really busy, and I'm trying to figure out my schedule and how to make everything in my life work out and not be so stressed and figure out my life pretty much. And on top of that, I am going to start going to school, so I have to figure out all of these different things, which is gonna be great. And another thing I want to say is, yes, I'm not wearing makeup. I'm actually going out tonight, and I didn't want to do my makeup super super early because I'm going out like 7 hours from now, and you know, I want to go out and I want to look cute and fresh as fuck. So yeah, we're really basic right now, and I'm sorry about that too. Another thing I want to say is, I'm sure you've read the title of this video, and I'm gonna preface this by saying, you know, people in high school make out with people, and you know, you don't know what you want, and it's high school, like you should have fun anyways. So like, yes, I made it with 3 people on prom night, but like, there's some people that have done worse, right? Okay. Anyways, so let's get into this story. So this is going to be added into my high school series. Obviously, this was prom. This was the end of my high school experience, and I should probably like tell things in order, but honestly, like before I started high school, I was like, ooh, I can't wait. Everyone's like, obviously, like, especially girls, I feel like, it's like, I can't wait for prom. I can't wait for my dress. I can't wait to get my hair done. I can't wait to get my nails done. Who am I going to go to prom with? He's going to be cute, blah, 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 you know? And my prom just wasn't like that when prom came up. It was more so like, there was like not a lot of things going on, but like stuff is happening, and me and my brother had just decided to not go to prom, which like we were kind of fine with, you know, whatever. But we were invited to, you know, some prom parties, and we decided to go to our friend's prom party. And my mom was like, you know, that's fine. Me and my brother in high school didn't go to like any parties really, and it wasn't like we weren't invited, but it was more so just like we thought my mom would say no, and we never even asked her because we were just like, we don't want to hear the no type thing. So we were super excited to go to like this party. And so yeah, fast forward to this party. I was in a white silk skirt, and I was in like a black silk tube top. Keep that in mind because it's important later on. So we ended up going to this party, and you know, we see all our friends and they're all dressed up and stuff, and you know, it kind of made me be like, oh damn, like, you know, like when your stomach like sinks and you're like, damn, like I wish I went. Like it seems like fun because everyone's like telling you things that happen, but at the same time it was kind of just like, oh, that seemed like everyone was like, yeah, it was fun for like an hour, but like I wanted to leave type thing. So whatever. So you know, I'm hanging with my friends, my brother's hanging with his friends. Sometimes we're like interceding each other's friends and talking and whatever. Everyone's talking, everyone's dancing, everyone's grinding, you know? And people are still coming like randomly because I know a lot of people like party hopped, so that was all happening. And so at one point, you know, I needed to go to the bathroom. So I walk upstairs, and for the sake of this video, the guy that was having the party, we're gonna call him Darnell. So let's go with Darnell. So Darnell is the party person, okay? Darnell is the guy whose party we're at. And so I am knocking on the bathroom door, and Darnell happens to open the door. And I was like, okay, I need to go pee, like get out. And he's like, no, like just come into the bathroom with me. And you know, I was drinking a little bit, and back then I got tipsy after like a sip of any type of alcohol. And I wish I was like that now because my life would be so much cheaper. So I am like a little bit tipsy or whatever, and I know he's been drinking for a bit, obviously, so whatever. So I go into the bathroom with him, and like he closes the door, and you know, like we're talking about stuff. I don't even know what we were talking about, honestly, like. And so I was like, okay, like I need to go to the bathroom, like get out. Like I really did need to pee, you guys. Like I really needed to pee. And so I'm like, get out. And he was like, no, like, just do it in front of me. And I was like, boy, are you good? Are you good? Nah. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, my high school series, but I will have this in the playlist down below. But I did not have sex in high school. No guy had ever seen any of my parts, you know, like, just not a thing. So I was like, no, you must be crazy. And somehow that was like a come and get it thing, because he starts to kiss me. And to be perfectly honest with you, like, I was so down for it because Darnell was fucking cute, okay? Darnell was cute. And so, you know, me and Darnell are making out, and I'm like, you know, like, cool. And so we're making out, whatever, and then, you know, like, away, and I was like, okay, now actually get out, because, like, I really do have to pee. And he's like, just pee in front of me, like, who cares? And I was like, again, I'm tipsy, and again, I just made out with this cute guy. So I was like, you know what, fine. Mom's probably gonna, like, kill me for, like, posting this video, but I was like, okay, fine. So I go to pee, but, like, he doesn't see anything because I'm, like, really good at hiding it, and he had, like, a towel, so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And to be honest with you, like, your girl wanted to be kissed again because, like, he was a good kisser. So I, like, pee in front of her or whatever, and he's, like, washing his hands because, like, he had gone to the bathroom, like, previously. And, like, we're talking and stuff like that. And then he's like, okay, I'm, like, the bathroom's not that big, so when I'm done, like, I need to wash my hands. So he gets out and he's like, okay, I'll see you downstairs. And I'm like, okay, cool. So after I'm done, you know, washing up and everything like that, I go back downstairs to, like, where the party is. And I go to my friends and I'm like, oh my god, guys, guess what? Like, and they're like, what took you so long? And I was like, I just made out with Darnell. And they're like, one guy that I kissed. Now, let's go to the second one. So there was this guy there, and he was, like, fine. Like, we were kind of friends. Like, I knew of him, obviously, but, like, nothing like Darnell, where me and Darnell were actually friends. And I start, like, dancing with him, and, like, I'm grinding with him. And typically for me, like, I did not like to stay with a guy for, like, the entire song. I don't know why. I think I'm just, like, a tease, but I just like to, like, give you a little bit, and then, like, I'll go on my way and do my own thing, or, like, find another person, because, like, to me, I don't know why I did this in high school, but I loved to, like, count how many people I danced within a night, and or grinded within a night, and I loved to have, like, a good number. I don't really know why I did this, but I never really stayed for someone for the entire song, because I just thought it was, like, boring. Can you believe I'm monogamous? No, I'm joking. So I just thought it was boring, so I didn't really do that. But, like, with this guy, I was staying, and he doesn't really need a name. So we're dancing, we're grinding and dancing, whatever. And then eventually, like, I'm, like, front way, like, grinding with him. That'd be, like, so funny if I, like, showed you guys what I was doing. And then, obviously, you know, he starts to kiss me. And I kiss him back for, like, a little bit, because I was like, oh, you know, whatever, it's prom, like, it doesn't really matter, like, have a good time, like, do you, girl, you're like, whatever. And so then after that, I don't know how I should say this, like, in a nice way, but this guy was, like, someone you, like, you would definitely, it definitely was not a Darnell situation where I was like, I couldn't wait to tell my friends, like, guess what I just did. It was more so like, okay, like, let's keep this on the down low, like, no one needs to know. So, yeah, I start kissing him, and then I'm like, what the hell are you doing, girl? And so then I move away, and I go back to my friends, and he goes back to his friends. And so then I was like, okay, I'm done with that whole thing for the night, or forever. And so, yeah, so then, you know, I'm dancing with my friends more, and keep in mind at this time, like, people are still coming into the party. Like, it's like I've been here like 2 hours, people are still coming into the party, because, again, like I said, there's probably, like, a lot of party hopping. So at this time, simultaneously, I don't know if you guys know, like I said, my high school playlist will be down below, but there's this girl that I was friends with, and for the life of me, I can't remember what I named her. I think I named her Trina. I don't know. But she is the girl that I was friends with, and I had told a story about where I hooked up with this guy, and I had, like, a thing with him. And by hooked up, I don't mean had sex. I just mean, like, we hung out and, like, kissed and stuff. And I told her about it, and then, like, the next day, she wanted to do the same thing. So I'll leave that, like, up below. But anyways, so I ended up, you know, with her pretty much most of like the prom party, and this is after that situation, but it was just like, whatever, high school is done, like who cares what people do to you now. And so I end up care of her kind of in a sense, because she gets like wasted, like she gets drunk, and she's kind of being like a little bit sloppy in a sense, like where I'm like, okay girl, like are you good, like are you okay? And she ends up like getting with this guy, and I'm not gonna give him a name. We're gonna call him Alex. I don't know if I've used that name before, but if I have, it's not the same person. So she ends up getting with this guy named Alex, and Alex is this guy that no one would want to get with. That sounds so bad, but like no one would typically want to get with Alex, okay? Like in high school, like it's, or at least like not my friend group, but like it's just like no. And like if your friend was drunk and like dancing with Alex and like flirting with Alex, like they would soberly want you to smack them to be like, what the hell am I doing type thing, okay? So she's kind of like flirting with Alex and like dancing with Alex, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let this happen, but if it gets too far, like I'm definitely gonna stop it. So then I am like talking to my other friend, and like she's like, Trina's still dancing with Alex, okay? And I'm talking to my other friend, we're like this, whatever, and we're talking, and then I see out of the corner of my eye Alex take Trina into the bathroom. No, this is not happening. So I'm just like, oh hell no, like I am a good friend, and I was like, oh hell to the no. So I try and go to the bathroom and like open the door, and his friends are like stopping me, you know, from being like a cock block or whatever. And I was like, no, like she's drunk, this is absolutely not happening, like this is not what we do. And just an FYI, I think it's really disgusting. I mean, at this time, like, I was younger, so I didn't find it as repulsive as I do now. But I think it's really disgusting, like, if a girl is, like, drunk and, like, you know that she's drunk and you're like, oh, like, let's hook up with her, blah, blah, blah. Because from what I recollect, like, Alex was not that drunk, and so like, his friend, one of his friends for sure, was, like, pretty sober. So for them to, like, stop me from her making, like, a drunken decision, like, you're disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I'm like, no, like, this needs to stop. So I'm, like, opening the door, but, like, they're, like, shutting it. So, like, we're, like, playing with the freaking door. And I eventually got her out of that situation. And I like, pulled her out because they opened the door. And I, like, pulled her out because I would not leave it alone. I was like, no, this is not happening right now. And she, like, seems fine, but, like, her clothes are all, like, in, like, a disarray. And I was like, okay, I was pretty much knocking on the door, like, pretty much like the entire time, or like staying there, like trying to like hear like what was happening, you know. And so I don't really know what happened with that. So after that whole thing happens, she is still like really drunk, and I have my other friend like taking care of her or whatever, and let's fast forward to this third guy, the third and final guy that I had an experience with. So this guy ends up coming, and to be honest with you, I had never seen him before in my life. But, you know, he was my type, and that universally translates to he was Caucasian. So I see this guy, and I just randomly start dancing with him because, like, you know, like, obviously you're dancing, and, like, I know someone's gonna, like, pull you onto them. Like, typically, like, if you don't care and you're single, like, you're not really gonna, like, look back and see who's dancing with you. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So I was, like, still dancing after, like, someone, like, pulled me to them. And so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm dancing with them. And then, like, he ends up sitting down on a chair, and I'm sitting there, like, dancing with him, whatever. And so, yeah. And then he ends up, like, turning my head, and he kisses me. And so I start kissing him, and then I'm like, okay, we're, like, kissing for, like, a little bit of time. And, like I was with the second one, it was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't even know this kid. Like, I'm hoping he's, like, in my grade, whatever. And so then I, like, eventually, like, stop, and I, like, get up, and I'm like, yeah, no. And I go and join my friends, and Trina is, like, sitting down, and she's kind of just, like, getting sleepy, you know? And so then I sit down next to her, and I'm like, are you okay? Like, what happened in the bathroom? Like, and she's, like, not really making sense of what she's saying, you know? Like, me and my friends are trying to, like, decode what the hell she's saying, and it's not making any sense. And so we're just like, okay, well, that's gonna be an interesting story for her tomorrow if she will remember. And so I go in to sit down, whatever. And remember I told you guys at the beginning of this video, I was in a white silk skirt. So I go and sit down, and then I feel wet. And I'm like, never buy anything white. Holy crap. I get up and I go to the bathroom, and I sat in vomit. And the vomit was red, okay? And I'm like, fuck. I wanted to die. I was like, what the hell? Thank God I was wearing shorts underneath my skirt. So I took the skirt off, and I honestly was just like, screw this. And I threw it in the garbage because I was like, it's done for. Like, it's vomit, it's alcohol, and it's red. Like, it's cranberry juice. Like, it's staying there forever. So I just threw it in the garbage, honestly. And I was like, thank God. Thank you to myself for wearing a freaking shorts underneath the skirt. So that whole thing happened. Shortly after that whole thing, me and my brother ended up leaving, and, you know, when we got into the car, like, obviously my brother, like, smelled like alcohol, and my mom is kind of just like, okay, whatever, like, it was their prom, these are good kids, I'm sure she was thinking, and so this is fine. So we're going home, my mom's, like, asking us, like, how the party was and everything like that, and obviously I wasn't gonna tell my mom, like, what I've been up to, you know. So let's fast forward to the next day, like a Saturday or something, I don't even remember. All I do know is that I did not have school. And so I remember texting Trina, and we were talking on Facebook, because Facebook was like the thing at the time. And we're talking on Facebook, and I was like, so, how was your night? How did you find the party? And she was like telling me like her side of things and whatever. And I was like, do you know that you went into the bathroom with Alex? And she's like, well, this is what I'm imagining her face to be like, because again, we weren't talking face to face. She's like, seriously, what? I did? And I'm like, yeah, girl, like, you did. And she's like, okay, I need to know everything. Like, tell me. I was drunk. Like, I like, recollect absolutely nothing. And I'm like, bro, you were dancing on him, and it looked like you guys were legit having sex. Like, if you weren't wearing, if I didn't know, I would think you guys were having sex because of the way that you were dancing with him. Like, it was crazy. And then I'm telling her, like, you got pulled into the bathroom, and I'm, like, trying to get you out, and his friends are, like, stop being a cock block, whatever. And I was like, do you know what happened in the bathroom? Like, and she's like, no, I don't remember anything. And I was like, well, when you came out, like, your clothes were, like, in a disarray, okay? Like, so I don't know what happened in the bathroom. And she's like, shit. Pretty much is like her response. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, like, I'm talking to everybody like that went to the party that was my friend, and I'm like, how did you find the party? Like, how was your experience? Blah, blah, blah. Because I just, like, if I have, like, a really, really good time, I like to, like, relive the moment a lot. So, like, I will go and, like, talk to people about the party or, like, whatever the situation is. And so me and this guy were talking about it, and I told him, like, oh, yeah, like, I kissed this person, and I don't even know who this last person was, and I'm, like, describing him, whatever. And I find out that the last person that I kissed, which was the Caucasian guy, is a teacher's son. Yeah, a teacher's son. And he was in 11th grade. Of course this happens to me, like, of course. So, yeah, that whole thing happened. So yeah, that was my prom night. That was my prom night. And regardless of anything that happened, I had a really, really good time on my prom night. And I want to say, like, if you guys grew up wanting to go to prom because, like, you're seeing it on TV a lot, whatever, honestly, try your best to go, because now that I'm older, I sincerely regret not going, because, you know, it's, like, a good experience to have. So I sincerely regret not going, but if you're watching this, try and go to your prom. It's going to be fun, especially if you're going with friends. You do not need a date at all. It's 2021, girl. Be your own date. Go with your friends. You'll have a much better time with your friends than a date anyways, to be honest with you. So yeah, just go and do that and have a fun time and feel gorgeous. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.